Okay, so this is my term project video. This is the file. I'm just going to start run it and get right into it. So start out with the setup menu, blah 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 blah. Not going to read that right now, but hit OK and we go to this. So we start with these sliders. We're essentially just trying to find the color that is these objects so you can track them. I'm using highlighters. You don't have to use highlighters. You can use anything really. But highlighters are very nice because, as you can see, like with the yellow one there is almost no background noise because it's a very distinct color. Pink one's not too bad. My shirt is giving a little bit of interference, but that's close enough. Most of it is just marker, so we're just going to let that go. Game starts out pause. So, players can readjust after setting up. So I'm just going to go ahead, unpause that. You can see we're going to put the marker where we want it, draw a wall, and just like in Pong, ball hits wall, ball bounces off wall. You can see every time a wall is drawn, it depletes this gauge. Each player has one. It's the gauge at the bottom. Each player has one. It just shows how much wall each player has left. When it's empty, you can't draw a wall because you only have so many walls out at a time, or so much length of wall, I should say, out at a time. But every time a wall gets hit, it does take damage, so to speak. Eventually it will break, and then it won't direct the ball, it will just disappear. So it is kind of slow. Sorry about that. It is kind of slow. It's also kind of hard to control sometimes, especially if you have a lot of background interference. But together, that makes it relatively playable, at least in the early stage. It does speed up on every bounce. But as you can see, sometimes that takes a while. Already noticeably faster though. Let's see what happens. You can see weird kind of collision there when we impale the ball. Anytime you impale a ball, you have one of two options. Either it's going to go straight through, or it's going to do this little, like, I'm going to bounce all over the place kind of thing. That's a product of how the collisions are calculated. But it also stops you from freezing the game by impaling the ball, and then just having it, like, bounce infinitely around that one point forever and ever and stuff. And sorry again about the screensaver. But anyway, now I've got out of that 3-wall desktop. Bounces off, walls reset. It went out the right, so the player on the left got a point, and you can see it's going away from the player on the right, give them a little bit of breathing room after just having lost that point. Maybe they're a bit salty, I don't know. But, so that's how that works. You do have a pause, and the help menu, H and P keys respectively. The help menu, as you can see, does pause the game, so you don't get, scored on while you're trying to read the help menu and figure out how you play the game. Automatically undoes that when you go back in. Speaking of how you actually play the game, what the computer is actually doing is it's taking this object. We told it what color this object is, so it's finding that color, how much of it is. That determines whether or not you can see. Now we have a little like square cursor, which just lets me know, okay, I'm here. But if I bring it in closer, there's the computer recognizes it as more color, so it transitions into this lovely circle. And when I pull back, between the two circles is where the wall is drawn. So yeah, it does use a 2-point collision detection, which is why part of the ball can pass through. But again, that stops freezing the game if the ball slides in an unhappy manner. And this might take a while to bounce back and forth, since they're almost vertical and not going to really get anywhere. The game does go to 11, but you have to win by 2, so it can go higher if you have 2 evenly matched people. It does scale, so like right now I'm running it at 640 by 480, which is the resolution of the webcam I'm using, which makes it nice for like controlling it, but you can input whatever you want in the run statement, and it will scale to that, and just proportionally put all your points where they are. So the middle is still the middle, 3/4 across is still 3/4 across. Just make it bigger if you're, interested in that. Other than that, there is a restart key, which will just head back to the initial setup menu, which is R, and Q will quit. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. I'm not going to waste time and wait until this happens, but when one player does win, it will say player 1 or player 2 wins right in the center in nice big black text. Coincidentally, these top and bottom black lines are walls, so they have higher health, but they can be destroyed just like any other wall. And if the ball goes out of play out the top or the bottom, then no one wins, game's a draw. I think a normal wall has 20 health, and those walls have slightly over 1,000, so it's a really long-term thing, but it does, it's an added little, Easter egg for anyone who can play a game out long enough for that. So, yeah, I'm just gonna skip the part where I let this go all the way to 11 and hit the quit. And you can see the program actually did stop running over here, but this window will not close. I think that might be a bug in Canopy with event-based-animation or something. Not sure, but that's all there is to this Pong game. Thanks for watching, and hopefully it was slightly amusing at least.